evening, Proxy Table Gaming fans. You're joined tonight by the Gobbo for a summer hobby show. This evening, you are joined by myself. We have Scabfat here.
Hello.
Hello, how have you been?
I've been present.
You've been present.
I have been existing. Yeah, it's I've been hot actually. Since we last spoke, I've been significantly warmer.
It hasn't rained since we last did a show, I don't think so.
No. The UK is actually a barren desert where we fight over the last scraps of water that used to belong in our public Lidos.
Or chocolate milkshake.
And chocolate milkshake.
We're also joined tonight by a newcomer, so we have Sensei Gusto. Hello.
Shemai, how are we?
Hello, how are you?
Very good. Like Gabbat said, it's very hot.
It's very toasty.
It's very, very warm. No, I'm Welsh. We don't like the heat too much.
No, not at all.
We like rain in the summer. Thank you.
We exactly. That's what we only expect. Okay, so we are all on Instagram, we are all on YouTube, and we're all on Twitter. Well, apart from Sensei Gusto, but join us on Instagram, join us on the YouTube channels and on Twitter for more updates. We're always doing stuff on there. Dan is doing amazingly with his channel. How many followers are you up to
now? More than last time.
Brilliant.
Brilliant. We're getting there. We've passed the 150 mark. And,
that's awesome.
Yeah, the numbers are going up significantly quicker than they were. So, yeah,
you're pumping out content way quicker than we are. So it's really good.
Yeah,
awesome.
Tom and Steph, I'm coming for your subs.
Exactly.
Boys.
Coming in hard, coming in hot.
Just like Dan's KFC. So in this episode, we have a hobby update because it's been 4 months since we last did a show.
With change, I think.
So we've been doing quite a lot, actually. We've got quite a lot done. We've got a community showcase, so new pics and bits from the social medias. We have Phil join us today, the Sensei Gusto. So we're going to discuss what it's like being a new player into the hobby. We also have new releases on the big companies to see what we can do with our T9A armies. And giving you a bit more of an update about the Grotto. So as you know, my Grotto is the painting studio stroke gaming room that I've been building for the past couple of years and trying to make it more habitable. And this got a little bit of a wish list as well. And then last thing, we have some T9A news. So new releases, new things that are coming up as well. So let's dig into it.
Marvellous.
Get on.
So, Scafat, what have you been doing?
I have a confession. I've got a 3D printer. And it's been busy. Like I printed a gnome bot Dwarven Hulls army once upon a time, right? Took that to a tournament up in Birmingham.
It was beautiful.
It was beautiful. Yep. I enjoyed my single tournament with it before I put it on the shelf. And then thought to myself, I wonder what would happen if I just printed another army, but for a different game system. I've since the announcement from a certain games company, I have. I haven't printed this at all. None of this is printed. These are all legitimate models. These are my angels who are dark. My gloomy angels.
Nice.
3D printed entire army. That's
a 3D printed gloomy angels army for the
31k.
For yes. Yeah. War Maul 3000.
War Maul 3000.
I thought it was called Battle Mace 33,000.
That's the one. That's the one. Yeah.
Trademark.
No,
that's awesome, mate.
Thank you. Other than that, I printed more kind of tail stuff. I have actually been doing some 9th Age stuff. So here it is.
Nice.
We've been, in our last episodes, I was talking about it pretty much every month. But I finally got all the models together for my Vermin Swarm, which looks suspiciously Goblin army.
The best sort of army.
Right. So yeah, there was a lot of stuff here that was 3D printed. The vast majority of that was like the new Mantic plastic goblins, which are really nice models. Treating myself to a few things. A couple of 3D prints of the statue of Scabbity out there in the back, which is my my bell tower. Got some squig hounds down the front, so some cheeky 3D printed faces.
Yep.
And
your vermin hulks, whatever they are.
Yeah, the memellos at the back. Yeah, so those are teeny tiny goblin piloted mechs, and I've kind of magnetized the arms so I can give them the different weapons. I've got the the not pump wagon, so like the melee chariot that the VS army can take over on the left there.
Yes.
And yeah, might print a few of those off. But I'm in a position actually where I might need to employ someone to paint all my models, because it's a lot of models, isn't it?
There is a lot of models.
I think I know a guy.
Yes.
You're free at the moment, Phil, aren't you?
Give them to me. They
Yeah,
might not be good, but I'll do it.
What is the defining feature that you like about this bell tower, Phil?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I love how chiseled his face is.
It's very good. For me, it's the bunny slippers.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even see them.
Yeah, you can't be a competent leader without going into battle in bunny slippers.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, this was like, I use Hero Forge a lot for the Explorers of Rosso channel. So just like it's supposed, it's intended to be designed. It's intended for designing like D&D models, kind of thing, like RPG models.
Yeah.
But I have used it a couple of times for 9th Age models. So my actual general, like my Goblin Senator, Scabfat, is the same model, just in a different costume and a different pose.
It's terrifying. And
please tell me that. Go on.
No, after you, mate.
I was going to say, please tell me you're painting those slippers pink.
Tempted. I'm real tempted. I mean, it all depends on what colour the commission artist that paints them.
Exactly.
I mean, my favourite bit about this model is how angry it makes Gobbo. So
Exactly. Oh, look, there's a different army.
Here's a different army. So this will date us somewhat. There is a tournament in Cardiff coming up soon, and at the 11th hour, I decided to jump in, and no one will be spared the wrath of Nashageddon.
Yes, I love it.
This is an experiment. I'm hoping it will be warm on the bottom tables.
It will be.
But yeah,
I love it. It's just pure chaos. I love it.
Absolutely carnage. Yeah, I think it's an army that will 100% fall over to a stiff breeze. But if over the space of the weekend I can make 5 people look across the table at this collection of models and kind of puff their cheeks out and think, "What the hell is happening?" then I feel I've succeeded.
Exactly. It's a similar mantra to me. Whenever I go to tournaments, it's not about winning; it's about stopping other people from winning.
Yes. Yeah. How much of a mess can I make?
Exactly. Brilliant. I can't wait to see it painted.
Yeah, me too.
It's fair enough. Cool. Next up, so Sensei, your wonderful army that not necessarily been done by yourself, but it's your first sort of venture into the 9th Age.
Correct.
Do you want to tell us about it?
I absolutely love it.
Cool.
So it's an Empire of Sun style. Absolute beast unit. At the moment, we're still playing around with how we're going to play it.
Exactly.
So there's a lot of experiments. It's a lot of, do we go some chaff? Do we sit back and fire? So it's in the primitive stage of any kind of tournament or any real serious game.
It is. You've had 4 or 5 games now?
I think it's 4.
Okay, I know they're against me, so it's obviously you're going to eventually need to fight someone that can actually play the game.
100%. I'll tell you, here's the deal. If I can beat you, then I'll venture out.
It's fun. Yeah. It's a very small first rung there, Phil.
Yeah.
You are the tutorial mission. Gobbo.
Exactly. You
Like
haven't
that.
beat the
I
tutorial
just
yet.
I can't get past the tutorial, and I'm about to snap my controller. No,
It's
I love
fun.
it. It's great.
Yeah, it's a Titanforge Dragon Empire army.
Yeah.
That Phil has wonderfully got me to paint and build for him. But we're trying to build the army and get Phil to learn T9A at the same time, which is a good idea. And as we can tell, Phil's really into his martial arts and things like that, so it's a perfect fit for him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
And
absolutely fell in love with them
he
because we
looks
were
like
going.
one of the Onis, doesn't he? So
I try. That's who I model myself after. That's why they have to be in there.
exactly.
A bit of me is in this army.
I mean, the sculpts are really, really nice, aren't they? So
Yeah,
They are, and
I fell in love with them as soon as I saw them because we were going down a different route originally, and then I kept seeing these, and I was like, if I'm going to
initially you
do
were
it,
going to beat me to death with beast herds, weren't you?
I was, yeah.
And then you saw these and like,
I was
yep,
like, oh my, done.
I'll take two.
I think we're done here. Pack them up, boys.
This is the first iteration of my Goblin army, using some of my KOE models as well, and so it was nice to be able to just line up and play a proper full-size point game against you,
Yeah.
and you start to learn the nuances and things, and you're just ruthless with that dragon. You just throw it at everything.
No mercy, you know. He decided he was going. I couldn't stop him. He
Exactly.
wanted in. He wanted in. Yeah, I'm just a
Exactly.
general. I'm just a general. If the boys want to go,
Exactly.
you gotta feed them.
That's brilliant. I can't wait to get it all painted nicely for you.
Thank you.
So, Christ, what have I done?
yeah, what have
Wow.
you done,
What
Brian?
have I done? So, as we know, in February there was a tournament called the Art of War that Dan and I helped with. And six weeks before that, I sold my army and decided to bring an entirely brand new Goblin KOE army to the Art of War, which is the one that you can see there, which is lovely, very bright, very
I'm surprised
happy.
you didn't get whiplash, changing your mind that quickly and that hard. And
Well, initially I was going to be running it with you, wasn't I, as opposed to playing, and it was just suddenly actually, I'm just going to be watching YouTube, so you may as well just play that, Ryan. So
yeah.
So fair enough. Yeah. So this entire army was kit bashed. So every single model has been made from bits box, which was fun.
Yeah, I mean, like, also bear in mind, you call it a KOE army, but there is a somewhat more there's a few more infantry models in this army than you tend to see in a KOE list.
Just a couple, yeah. So I went for a bloody Goblin infantry KOE army, which is the furthest away from the easiest thing you can build and paint in 4 weeks. But we did it, and it survived, and it made its way to the Art of War, and actually came out of the Art of War with my highest ever tournament points, which is awesome.
Yeah,
I thoroughly enjoyed playing it.
Saw you play one game and you did some absolute damage.
Exactly.
That's some long range shots. Yeah.
So, in about 5 weeks' time, Dan, this Cardiff, and I decided that I was going to go. I decided that I was going to bring a different Goblin army that's not painted. So I'm currently painting my second fully infantry-based Goblin army in 6 months.
It's I just like my heart weeps for you, absolutely weeps for you. But these Asgard Rising models look incredible.
They're gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous.
Because how does it feel to have a fully 3D printed army?
Oh, it's amazing. So to knowing that I've printed, assembled, and then are going to be painting all of these models just from something that's risen out of the resin in my own garage, as opposed to buying models. It's such a good feeling. And again, the detail on them is beautiful. And again, I haven't got any better pictures, unfortunately, yet, because they're not painted yet. But they once the army's painted, you can see all the detail on them, and they will look so gribbly. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Which is good. So, but all the trolls.
Lots of trolls. Because, you got 16 trolls, the GGI, and then...
the Nasher Wrecking Trolls,
Nasher Wrecking Trolls, you've got your Nashers teams. I feel like you could have done with more Nashers, but we all got to start somewhere, right?
Exactly. Well, I've gone for the trolls rather than Nashers.
That's true. This is
So
true.
but I've played 5 games now,
Mhm.
4 games with this army, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And it is. We started out with Pyro, didn't really get on with Pyro, so I've gone to Witchcraft, and actually, it's just really opened up the fun on this game. So
Yeah.
so that's the current project, and it's nice being the Gobbo to actually have a Goblin army. I've never owned an actual Goblin army. Ironic as that sounds, it's always been KOE or something else that's Goblins. But yeah, and
I
in
love
better
this
news,
army. I love this army.
I got my Beast Herd army back from Callum in exchange for painting models for him, and I'm so happy because I didn't want to sell it originally. It was when my daughter was about to be born, and work wasn't going really well, so I had to sell models. And really, really thankful to Callum for taking it off my hands and keeping it safe, and then allowing me to then buy it back, which was awesome. But this is my Mario Kart Beast Herds.
So I was thinking about it, and when I played the game that was, I never played Beast Herds. I never played Beastmen ever.
Yeah.
And I think you were the first Beast Herds player I ever played.
Yes, Art of War 1.
And Art of War 1. And like throwing down, like, I was so new to the game, I didn't even really understand what steadfast was.
Yes.
So like we just had this weird standoff where like you didn't want to charge your chariots into a unit of 60 goblins
Because you had a unit of 60 goblins.
Because there's a unit of 60 goblins that would never not be steadfast.
Yes.
And like I didn't want you to immediately break and chase down my 60 goblins because I didn't know that they were steadfast.
Until you ran your lord on Squig directly down the throat of my Gortak.
Yeah. That was a valiant attempt to stop him, but actually just let you slingshot that beastie at the back into my lines.
Exactly. But yeah, that's how me and Dan met. So we met the first Art of War. It was these Beast Herds here versus Scabfat. That was before Scabfat was invented, wasn't it? Or was it Scabfat was risen from the ashes of that battle?
It was the original Scabfat model, so we can assume it was like a long distant cousin or something.
Knobfat.
Yes. Yeah, let's say that.
I've also been doing. This is my Christmas present. This is my Christmas present from my wife and my daughters. They got me the Curse City box set, and I just want to say I've thoroughly enjoyed building these models. They're all push fit, but again, the quality of them is really, really nice. And I'm hoping to get some games in with Phil and some of the other Grotto guys.
Absolutely.
Because it'll be really, really good fun.
Absolutely.
We're going to get the hell kicked out of us by these undead.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
going to be brilliant. And then commission-wise, I've been doing this monstrosity.
Look at him.
He's bigger than my second child. So yeah, he's worth more as well. But yeah, so this is again for a client. This came in. It was a restoration project, and basically it had fallen off a shelf and exploded. And I've been gradually taking it back apart properly, re-drilling everything, sawing it, repinning everything, and it's very nearly done. I haven't got any painted photos on here at the moment, but it's doing really, really well. It is the biggest model I've ever done. And then I've started on the terrain for my grotto as well. So this is the tabletop world. This is the peasant's cottage, I believe, and then the merchant's house. So it's fun just to try and do something different and get nice painted terrain on the board.
Yeah.
Although saying that, it's been an absolute nightmare when playing games on it.
Yeah.
Constantly trying to let's put 60 goblins onto this tree. And so so I love it as a look on to the board. It's just trying to figure out a happy medium. But yeah, really, really busy. Okay. Community showcase. So I've been scouring the internet for things that I've been finding interesting and really trying to inspire me to do better things. So I hope they do the same to yourselves. So this chap is a chap called Ed Binkley. He is an artist that specializes in pencil. So all the things that you're going to see are pencil drawings. Okay?
Okay.
So edbinkley.com for those who haven't been aware of him. So creatures of horror stories and movies, unseelie court, and others who might represent the darker aspects of our own nature, and have always fascinated him as a child. Goblins, hobgoblins, imps, boggarts, and banshees, giants, dragons, malevolent witches, sorceresses inhabit my thinking nearly as much as the fairer subjects. So that's the introduction to his website. And then, so if you take into mind that this is pencil.
Wow.
What?
Look at that.
I just think it's fascinating, absolutely fascinating that he can draw something like that and get so much atmosphere in that picture.
It's the sheer amount of contrast he's getting through pencil.
Oh, yeah.
Pictures.
Yeah.
Is that done
cool.
through his imagination, or is he using
Yeah, all from his imagination.
Just in his head. So
No,
he
that's,
sees that
that's
image.
his neighbour, actually.
Oh,
Exactly, yeah.
See.
That's Barry. He lives on the floor above.
It's incredible.
So basically what he's done, he thinks what would happen to goblins if they lived in our time and tried to amalgamate into our lives. So these are all goblins that are getting day jobs, basically.
Look at that.
Wait,
Can I call it Stanley?
I didn't know you commissioned him to do a portrait of your own.
Exactly. That's me smiling. But again, for hand drawn and the atmosphere, and I think it's just lovely.
You can feel the texture, can't you?
Mm.
Oh.
He's made him look wet.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, this is amazing. Just imagine what this chap's living room looks like.
Oh, I'd have him in my living room if my wife would let me. But they're not colourful enough.
Nice.
Again, just the different types of goblin that he's got, all the things like even the colours of the eyes, to be able to get that in just pencil, I think is just fascinating.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So clever. It's really got me thinking about how I can use that sort of style to paint models. How do I build up the colours that slowly?
Yeah, right.
To get them that dark.
On something so small as well.
Yeah.
I feel lost for words with some of this.
It's beautiful, isn't it? Beautiful is probably an odd thing to say when you refer to a goblin.
In an artistic point of view, 100%.
Yes. Just the character he's got out of these goblins. He reminds me of Tigger.
Yes. Like, I think, obviously, like the proportions on a lot of these have just been completely off, because you know they are kind of fantastical creatures, like goblins, hobgoblins, whatever. Like the unusual proportions of it make it seem more real.
Yes.
Like you're completely avoiding the uncanny valley.
Exactly.
And just like we're taking these at face value, and just the execution of it is, oh god,
it's lovely. Just brilliant. Really good. And then that one.
Look at that.
Little goblin maitre d'.
Just brilliant. Okay, so he tries to give them the same treatment that he does for fairer subjects. So the amount of attention to detail that people do for fairies, for sorcerers, magic, and all the things like elves, he tries to give that same sort of attention to detail to this specific type of beauty, which I think is very clever. But yeah, Ed Binkley, edbinkley.com. All these prints are available to buy. So again, if you like them, buy them from Ed Binkley. Really good. I'd put them up on the landing. Scare the children.
That would look really good in the grotto.
It would. Okay, next up. Perfectly Painted Studio from the Instagrams. So it's a commission painting studio, and they've done an Empire army.
My.
Oh dear. Phil salivating.
Oh my.
But the thing I like about this colour scheme is that it's so understated, but it's very clean.
Mm.
and I really like it.
Yeah.
So you got your hippogriff, your demigriffs. You've got your knights, like the orders. So the Order of the Sun Griffin. Your what are they called, Riters, with your repeating pistols or whatever they're called.
Yeah, that kind of. Is it Zenithal or is it just really good?
It looks like it, doesn't it?
Or is it? Yeah, is it just really controlled
So on the
glazing and
right there,
blending?
you see on the shields.
Yeah.
So all the armor plates, all the shield points, it seems to be brighter on the top. So all the lights catching the top edges. So it looks zenithal, but looks painted zenithal as opposed to an airbrush. Very clever.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the horses as well because you can see the clear definition on their necks.
Very nice.
Yes.
Steam tank. You're not having one of those, Phil.
No.
I'll print you one, mate. Don't worry.
Right. Thank you.
So that's the whole army together.
Look at that.
Wow.
Look at that eagle.
So again, I love the fact that the characters are the things that pop the colour.
Yep.
Yeah, I was going to say the Hurricanum. Is that what it's called at the back? Like
Arcane engine.
The model. Yeah, so it would, I'm guessing it'd be used as an arcane engine, but yeah, that like those little splashes of color and like the red that you can see dotted around here and there just kind of pulls your eye over.
I like it. It's a very macabre sort of look to the army.
Mm.
So very dull and understated. But those pop colours, especially if it's like your wizards on the 3 laws at the beginning, on the front bottom there, your flagellants on the right hand side. So your what are they called now?
Wow, we were
Flagellants, madmen, priests, or whatever.
Are they prelate?
No, it's they are flagellants, I think. Yeah, either or. The priesty people on the right. They just bring up the colours and it twins within the bronzes that are kicked off everywhere. Some of the tin colours. I think it looks lovely. You've got a nice little Pegasus hero there.
Agreed.
Very meta. Not a big fan of that volley gun, especially when I keep
Look
facing
at it. It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. You never seem to misfire with it, that's why.
I know, I seem to be really lucky with them.
Then we have Fat Frog Paints Models. I think it's just a brilliant name for one. But he has done some amazing conversions.
Oh, wow.
So this could be more of a Khan. It could be, what's the other one? Sentinels, maybe. Just, it is a massive undertaking that he's gone and done. So if you focus just above his head, you see the bookcase and the table and things like that. Just remember that in a second. But everything is green stuffed and converted. And then he started painting it. He hasn't got the full thing painted at the moment, but you can see what it's going to look like overall.
Yeah.
I've just noticed, like, it's just disappeared under this new picture, but there was a little demon funneling off intestine juice into a pot at the bottom of the left-hand picture.
Yeah. And then feeding it to a dwarf, which we can all agree is the right thing to do. But if I just show you the painted ones there, so the different colours of greens and greys that he's got on there, it's just lovely. And then if you remember the little bookcase and the table, so that's what he's done for the top of it. So if you imagine that colour scheme will be transposed across the entire model.
Good lord.
Look, there's a 5p piece as well for scale.
Yeah.
It's just beautiful. Really is nice. The glowy little cauldron there. And again, the Nurglings.
Of course, yeah, it's OSL. I didn't realise it was OSL. I just kind of thought, oh, that's glowing.
Oh, it's glowing. But even like the potion bottles, you see all the bubbles. And the little intestine thing that he's drawn on and the eyes. I think it's just so clever.
Either makes you really want to get better at painting or just not try.
really get better, mate. That's how it makes
just
you
really
feel.
Get better. That's the one.
So brilliant stuff from Fat Frog Paints. Please follow him on Instagram. We then have Celebrimbor Forge, which does a lot of Lord of the Rings things for obvious reasons. But again, I just love the paint schemes, paint styles that he does. So there's little Bilbo and Smaug there. But again, the transition from the warm light to the cold light on the outside edges, I think is brilliant.
Yeah.
And then just, I don't know what to say about that.
Jeez.
It's just beautiful. That's the size of it.
It's the reflective.
Yeah.
It's the fact that it's non-metallic metal, but the orbs are reflecting in the gold, the bronze, whatever.
Yeah, but if you look at the base on the right-hand side, so on the right-hand side of it by the steps, you've got the white light. Then on the left-hand side, you've got the red light. And then going up further, you've got then more white light, more red light, and it's in patches across the whole thing. And
Yeah.
it's so complicated, but it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Then you got something like that, which is just wow. And again, this is all handmade from balsa wood.
Oh, wow. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So
So apart from the models, obviously, because the models are models, but the staircase, the bookcase, and everything like that, he's actually hand sculpted himself. The floor tiles and everything, and then painted it that beautifully. And again, that's the scale. Just fascinating, the amount of detail that you can get into such a small little diorama.
Mm.
Cool. Celebrimbor Forge, we like that. And then, if you thought those were good,
Oh boy. Okay. Right,
hold on to your butts. Okay,
Hit us with it.
here's what this is. Roman Lepat, and every time I see something by him on Instagram, I am genuinely blown away. So, this is the first one. So be aware that what I'm about to show you is a miniature. It's not a flat thing, it's a miniature. So it's 3D, okay?
hit me.
What?
Wow.
Yeah. Just how do you take that in? So at the bottom there, you've got all the cork, you've got the skulls and everything like that, and the horse itself, as well as the rider, that is all a model. But he has painted it in such a way that you cannot tell.
What?
It's beautiful, isn't it? Absolutely beautiful.
I'm desperately trying to find something on it that kind of gives away the fact that it's 3D, because right now it actually just looks like a
Yes.
2D painted image, and I think that's because of the brush strokey kind of effect is on the background,
Exactly.
which is kind of like tricking your eye into thinking everything else is the same. But I actually can't see any depth.
No. It's so clever. So very clever. And if you enjoyed that, Jesus.
That's
Okay. Oh my
So-
word.
Look at that.
that's good.
See that, because that is definitely, it's
Yes.
clearly got some depth to it. Now I'm just getting weirded out by the fact that the painting's climbing out the picture frame.
Yes. Is it the old one of the 40k rule books had this picture?
The third edition book had Black Templars on it, getting shot
Yeah.
to bits. So yeah, very, very reminiscent.
Again, it is stunning.
Yeah.
The be able to have the mind's eye to be able to picture this, assemble this, and put it and paint it in that, it is just mind-boggling. Truly an artist. And if you thought that was good,
Oh god. God.
that's a close-up. I forgot to add another photo. So if you thought that was good,
Mm-hmm.
he also does dioramas, and every single model on here is individually made and painted and assembled on here by Roman Lepat. Okay.
Of course they are. Of course they are.
Jeez. Look at that.
Sweet holy hell.
That's like, That's a 4,500 point vampire covenant army right there.
Have you
So,
spotted Elvis yet?
Elvis. All right, hang on. Let me zoom in.
Oh, where is he? Yes,
Zombie
spotted him.
Elvis.
Got him.
Oh, I see him. Yeah, yeah.
Right down the
yeah.
bottom.
What about the zombie dressed as a bee?
I can see a zombie dressed as a chicken.
That as well. Yep.
I can see. Yeah, I saw the bee as well.
Yeah.
Just to the
I
left.
had a panic and
What
was
else is
worried
on
that
it?
was a zombie Mickey Mouse on the right hand picture. Far left of the right
Yep.
picture.
So again, I can spend hours looking at these photos. The detail that he has sculpted in and painted. So all the building, that's all handmade by him. So he sculpted it all the different bricks, built it all up. And just the composition, and again, painting those zombies must have taken him, well, I don't know how long it took. But
We
it's
should
just
message him and ask him, how long does
Exactly.
this take you?
Contrast
know-
paint, isn't it? That's
contrast paint. Yeah. Just again, I'll show you a close up for you. So getting closer and closer. So the guy's battling on the bus there. But look at that.
oh my word.
Is that Shaggy?
Probably.
Just below Elvis to the
We're
left.
talking the pop star
Sixth.
or
No,
the
Scooby Doo.
all right. Just again, it's just lovely.
Yeah. Fantastic.
So yeah, please check out Roman Lepat. Again, there's so much stuff on there to give you ideas and blow your minds, which is really, really good. Okay. The Ninth Age from a new player's perspective, Phil.
Okay.
Here we go. So, as everyone probably has gathered by now, Phil is new to wargaming in total, but also to the Ninth Age especially. So I met Phil because he was put my way by our friendly local gaming store, Atomic Comics, to paint some Dark Angels. And it's a slippery slope.
Oh, my feet are still wet.
Exactly. How did you get into wargaming, Phil?
Like any great tale,
Exactly.
it starts when you're a young boy. All it was when I was younger, I just got exposed to White Dwarf magazines,
Yes.
but never actually got into the gaming because nobody played it in any of the schools I went to. So
Okay.
yeah, it's unfortunate because you see something and you really want to get into it, but no one else as a kid, if no one else is into it, it's hard to get into it.
It's a big
You know what I
commitment
mean?
as well, especially
yeah,
for parents as well.
and you don't understand how to get into it when it's just you.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
years and years later, literally a couple of years ago from today's date, I bumped into someone that I knew for a while, had no idea that he played it. They played a Tau army, and he showed me. Yeah, I know. He showed me his miniatures. I was like, "Oh, you play?" And then he got me back into it. And then I bought the box set, and
because you bought the Dark Vengeance kit, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, and I was like, because I like to learn all about the lore and all the fluff. I just love that. That's what helps get me into it. And I love the Dark Angel, so I bought the Dark Vengeance kit and realised painting minis is very hard.
It's horrible. Yeah.
it was horrible to get into, but I tried. Then again, I moved away from where I met him, and again, I didn't know anybody that played it, so I shelved the whole project until recently. I was looking at them, going, "I want to play you. I need to play you." So I went to Atomic Comics. I tried painting them. I just needed some assistance. And that's where we are today, where I met you.
Exactly. And from then, it all went wrong.
It's just depending on the questions you ask me. It depends how much detail you want me to go into.
Exactly. So, what is it you like about the fantasy genre in total?
It might sound weird, but the fantasy as a genre is quite primal.
Yes.
It's and that's what really draws me to it. It's I really get really lost in any kind of fantasy, any kind of D&D or Knights of the Old Age or dragons and like goblins and trolls. It's just it's a very specific area which really gets me excited, if you see what I mean.
Definitely.
To get involved with, like, because you can see like Marines and Space Angels and all that, and you're kind of like, yeah, great, it is great, but something about the fantasy is magical.
So one of the things I like about fantasy, and one of the reasons that I got into it, is that it almost could be real,
That's it.
if it makes sense. So again,
Yeah.
yes, it's high fantasy is a bit different, but the fantasy similar to like Game of Thrones, things like The Witcher and things like that, it's almost as close to reality as it could be, if that makes sense. It's one of the reasons why I keep getting drawn massively into it. But yeah, and again, you spoke to me about Dark Angels, and I happened to have fantasy models scattered about conspicuously. I go, oh, what's this here, Goblin?
What's this here, Goblin?
So why the Ninth Age? Why, Phil? Why?
So I was quite on the track of getting my Dark Angels, getting a 40k game, and I was like, this is the path I've chosen. And I was like, nothing will distract me. Every time I went over to your house, I was like, what's that there then? What's that over there? What's this?
What's that there, Goblin?
What's that there, a Goblin? Oh, that looks cool. What's this?
Minotaur.
Minotaur. I'll have it. Get on. But before you know it, I'm knees deep in a whole new board game when I haven't even learned the game before. I was originally supposed to play.
You don't need to learn the other one now, do you?
No, I don't. I've literally shelved all learning.
All learning.
All learning shelved.
Okay. So when you saw your Dragon Empire army and you started looking at the models, what is it that you specifically liked about it?
12th century brutality.
That's quite specific.
I mean, it wasn't the answer I was expecting, but
I know. I like to throw a curveball. So, as some of you may know, I massively into my martial arts, and I love rural Japan, and the culture and all movies, films. I'm just sold, and I saw it, and it just took me back to that. It just really inspired me to go. I need it.
I need it.
I need it. It was weird because we were looking at Beast Herd Army, and I was like, they're really cool because they're cows. They're like just cows that kill, and I'm like, I'm all about that. But then, as I kept looking at the cows, I was looking over in that little box, and I was like, they're calling to me. Yeah. I was like, that's what I need.
And again, although I completely agree, killer cows are awesome.
Yeah.
I do think that the samurai army seems to be a bit more fitting for you.
Yeah.
Especially learning the Ninth Age as well, rather than just with the Beast Herds army, which tends to normally be throw it forward.
Yeah.
The Empire army is giving you at least a participation in every phase of the game.
Exactly.
So you've got shooting, your movement, you've got your combat, and magic as well, and you can be competitive in every phase of the game as well.
Yeah. Because that is what you told me. You were like, it's Empire of Sunstar is a harder army to learn, but I was like, well, I'm in it to play. I'm not in it just to dip my toe. I'm soaking wet. I'm in. So
you've already dived in.
Yeah, I know Beast Herds are fun, but I really wanted to learn the mechanics, and I think that's what we're doing.
It's about how to get new players into the game, how to even increase visibility, and the fact that you didn't even know existed.
Exactly.
I mean, I know for certain, like even within the UK scene, the discussion of like new players is one that is kind of close to the heart of a lot of players who are in more kind of organizational positions. But yeah, I could also imagine that, but like for a game, for a mass rank and flank style game, like cost would be prohibitive for some people.
Exactly. Although, did you see Chaihammer's he did a reel a couple of days ago about the new starter box that comes with two 3,000 point armies and all the rules and all the measures and stuff?
I can't say I have, no.
It's 2 3D printed armies, Saurian Ancients and Infernal Dwarfs. And it comes with all the rules and all the models. Some of them are Asgard Rising, which is pretty cool. And Lost Kingdom miniatures. And basically you buy the box now and you have the game. So nice. I think it's brilliant to be able to start and get into. We'll try and find the link to put up later on. Put it in the description. But yeah, Chaihammer mentioned it because he's at the ETC over the weekend. And he ran into a chap from the US that does it. I can't remember who it is at the moment, but I will get it up later. But I think having a physical product that you can get into the game is so much better than you can use whatever you want.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I think the fact that you can use whatever you want. If you've got to buy an army with 100 models,
100 models, that's pocket change for you. Dan.
well, but through relatively easy access to 3D printing, through miniature manufacturers that are significantly cheaper than their competitors.
Yes.
It might not be as intimidating as it might have been once upon a time, I guess.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. And a barrier, I think, as well, is lack of people playing it. So again, I think there needs to be more visibility of people actually going out and playing the game and demoing the game and being in clubs playing it, rather than just in your garage. Which again, yes, I love the Grotto, but one of the things that I want to try and do in the next couple of months is try and get a couple of games of T9A in my local club when there's other games going on.
Yeah.
So that people can actually come over and go, actually, what's going on here? Well, young sir, come down this little rabbit hole and I'll show you. You can use the models you got there. You just have to put them on proper bases and then we can go for it.
Yeah.
So I think visibility, like Phil said, is a massive thing. So one of the reasons why I'm doing another hobby show is just to try and keep that content out there so that we have more people enjoying the Ninth Age, so that it keeps the game alive for us.
Absolutely, I agree.
Okay, if you could introduce someone into the Ninth Age, what would you show them first? I'd show them a samurai army.
You answered it for me. You answered it for me. Once it's painted.
Okay.
Because I do show some of my other friends who play different tabletop games and other games that are kind of interested in this style of games. I actually show them pictures of my army, and to be honest with you, I show them pictures of your armies.
They're good fun, and
yeah.
So again, one of the things that I try to do is not be ashamed of being a gamer, not being ashamed of being a miniature gamer as well. So even at work, I talk to people about it and just saying, "Oh, I've got this weekend. I'm meeting one of my friends. We're having a game." "Oh, what are you playing? FIFA or something like that?" "No, I'm playing a tabletop war game." And then, oh, I actually know someone who does that. And it's a good way of building contacts and trying to get more people. And even if you just drop them an email and say, "Hey, John mentioned you at work. My name's Ryan. How would you like to come and look at some goblins?"
Absolutely. I mean, I've actively been doing that with some of my friends.
Exactly.
I know they play games, and I know they play board games. So I'm like, there's a slippery grey line here, and I'm going to pull you in. I'm going to pull you into this world.
Exactly. So I think the not being shy about it. Yeah, you don't have to go down the whole rabbit hole with them, but just saying that it's one of your hobbies and something that you do, people will be naturally interested in it.
Yep.
So I think
you'll be surprised how many people are keen but don't know how to get in.
Yeah, exactly. Well, like yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. What tools are there for new players, Dan?
There is so on the Ninth Age website there is a rule set for beginners, Essence of War. That is going to be one of the best ways to get into it. It's especially good if you've never played like a rank and flank game.
Yeah,
if you're completely new to this style of gameplay, then that's a really, really good shout. I've run it a couple of times at demo days at Bristol Independent Gaming, and it works very, very well. You don't need that many models. Like on the demo day, I very easily rocked up with 3-4 armies worth of kind of starter armies. I guess if you have got some kind of experience of kind of square base war games, then just a couple of small games with someone who's also playing it, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. I think another big tool that's not really talked about much is the forum. So the actual T9A Forum itself has got so much information on there. All the rules are free for download, and you've got all the fluff that's coming out as well. You've got all the links to all the YouTube channels, all the content creators, including us. So it's basically a hub for all the information.
Yeah.
So I think it's, if you get to the hang of just going onto the forum, oh, what's this? Oh, there's an event going on in Big in Bristol. I'll go along and have a look, and you just get a little bit more event visibility.
That's good.
Advice for beginners, Phil.
So there's a few. Commit 100%. Just throw yourself in. So I actually made a couple of notes here, just from my perspective. Is
Sure.
Just don't be afraid to join social media pages, like what you were just saying about forums, getting involved in chats.
Yeah.
And once you're in there, just ask questions. I know sometimes in our group chat, I don't ask a lot of questions because sometimes I feel I don't understand how to ask the question.
That's fine.
Because I still feel fairly new. So I feel like, am I asking a specific question right to warrant the right answer that I'm looking for?
I understand.
So I'm just, any advice is just ask a question if you're not sure. I just said, see if there's any local tournaments going on. Just go and watch, like I did with Art of War.
Yeah, you came up to Bristol, didn't you?
I just come up because I was so keen. I was like, I want to see a day of it, and I just tagged along. Just get up and get involved.
And you watched our friend Rick get pummeled into the ground. Like
I did.
Like a tent peg.
Like a tent peg. Poor Rick.
Yeah.
He's going to message me when he hears this. Dan, what about yourself? Advice for beginners?
Like, really lean in on the fact that Ninth Age is a model agnostic game. If you're a first time player and you're worried about the cost of putting together your first few units, there are a lot of places where you can get like paper miniatures, for example. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe on the Ninth Age website there are actually now links to paper miniature like armies that you can print off.
Exactly. So you can even try the army in paper before you actually try and buy the army.
Correct.
Which is awesome.
Like, the most important thing is that as long as everyone knows kind of what's going on, then we're good to go. So if if that is what is stopping you from kind of diving into it, and you think you really be really, really keen on it, get some stuff printed off, whack them on some square bases. Jobs are good.
I'm going to go with the line that most people won't mind. Again, for friendlies, for learning the games and everything, people won't mind. They're happy to share their knowledge and their hobby with you. Again, everyone thinks stereotypically that gamers tend to be, what's the phrase? Narky with rules, narky with like gatekeeping standards and stuff like that. But the 99% of the people that you meet in our hobby are more than happy to talk about their hobby and to help other people in our hobby.
Yeah.
And I think that's really good. So I think, like Phil says, like you say, talk to people, get involved, and ask questions.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Cool. So what's next for the samurai?
For the samurai, I shall be continuing to play around with army lists and understand how to build army lists.
Yeah.
Swapping and changing, playing more games, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't, understanding not just the rules for my army, but getting an understanding for how other armies play.
It's a good idea, definitely, because again, just playing goblins can be
and it can. I just don't want to go to a proper game and not understand what they're doing.
Yes.
And then just be in a really awkward situation where I'm like, well, I don't understand what that is.
Exactly. So if anyone's listening and in the Oval area and wants to challenge Phil,
it will be very easy for you.
Exactly. If you want some low hanging fruit.
Yep. If you just want to use somebody as a pre-tournament battle, just give me a shout.
But I think one of the big things is regular games. Same for all of us. Is getting those games in regularly, learning from your mistakes, learning just not necessarily just, as you say, your rules, but the overall rules. And again, there's 18, 19 different armies now, Dan?
Uh,
including supplements.
16 core, 4 auxiliary. Hobgoblins have just been redone. So yeah.
Yeah, 20 armies. So you're never going to learn all of them.
Yep.
But it's handy just to read them and look at them and pretend making lists on things like New Recruit. That's a good tool. New Recruit's a good tool, guys. And just getting used to understanding what the different units are, as opposed to learning their rules entirely. I think it's definitely a good idea.
Yeah.
Tournaments. Are you coming to a tournament, Phil?
I want to.
Okay.
I'm thinking maybe Art of War, February.
Art of War. That would be
Ooh.
ironic, really. So
Yep.
the samurai coming to the Art of War.
It's where it all started.
Where it all began, and it will be ended very quickly.
But
No.
I'll give it the old college try.
Well, we would be more than happy to have you.
Definitely. And again, we'll keep the bottom tables warm for you.
Yeah,
no, I'll be keeping the bottom table warm for you.
Exactly. But as I say, again, 99% of the people at tournaments, it is for fun. The idea of playing this game is for fun. It's not for big ups and stuff like that. We want to enjoy our games, and even in tournament perspective. Yes, when I first went to tournaments, I was terrified. I genuinely thought, am I just going to get curb stomped 5 games in a row, which would completely dissuade me from doing it? And actually, I met Dan, I met Callum, and the Bristol Ninjas and all the guys from that, and completely opened up my experience of gaming regularly. So I think it's a really good idea to get out there and play people that you don't normally play in your garage.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you very much for that, Phil. I do appreciate your time and thoughts on that. If anyone else is new to the Ninth Age, any other barriers or things, or any questions that you want answered, pop it in the chat and we will try to get back to you. Okay. New models. So we have Sylvan Elves, we have some KOE, we have some Dwarven Holds, Boo, we have Vampire Counts, and also Empire of Sonstal. So some funky little ones here. So lots of different companies. So we'll just crack on in.
Mm-hmm.
Asgard Rising.
Yes.
I love Asgard Rising. So
you should, if you like them so much, you should print yourself an army of them.
Ironically, my brother is getting into T9A and he wants a dwarf army from Asgard Rising. So,
well, job done.
Sold.
So there we go. Done. So these are the new dwarf models from Asgard Rising, and the detail on them is just beautiful.
I really like them.
Yeah.
I'd say, as a goblin, I hate dwarves and everything about them. However, to build and paint these models will be an absolute delight. So again, the different armors, the different braids they've got, all the different like banding on the shields, I think it just is going to be so much fun to paint.
Yeah, they've got character.
They really do. Yeah, real kind of old school Citadel 80s vibe.
Exactly. Then you've got some more armor on them. So you've got then some of like your Lord of the Rings sort of looking dwarves.
Nice.
So again, playing into that market as well, Asgard, very good.
Nice.
And again, the detail. So the scale mail. You've got all the different punches, and the one on the right hand side there with the scales. You've got the actual punches where the what do you call it? The iron rings would be holding the armor together. It's the detail is just ridiculous.
Oh, of course, yeah.
But yeah, beautiful. And then the chainmail and the scale mail. Just amazing. Even the dents in the helmets and just where it's been forged, it looks metal, even though that you can tell that's a resin print. Or render, sorry. Just so good.
That chainmail's nuts. How far we've come from chainmail just being like holes poked in green stuff.
Exactly. Just beautiful. And like the scars on his nose, where he's had the bowstring next to his nose, look.
Yeah, that's good. I saw that.
So clever. And then, if that wasn't enough, you then have even more detailed armoured dwarves.
Good Lord.
So this is your King's Guard.
Yeah.
And again, it's the Nordic, almost Gallic sort of Asterix and Obelix looking, isn't it?
Yes.
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 Really good. Tower shields as well. So yeah, so your shield wall rule would come into play and stuff like that. It's just really nice. And again, if my brother ever wants to get into T9A, now's the time to do it, Adam. I will print this army for you, damn it. But yeah, really, really good stuff from Asgard Rising. And compared to like the Draugr that we've shown before and some of the original Vikings and things, the detail that they're getting out of their sculpts now is astounding.
Yeah.
Yeah, really nice.
Wow,
Cool.
Yeah, they're good.
Creature caster. We love creature caster. Normally they do massive creatures and monsters and gribblies. But this time I'm going to show you some Empire Sunstall.
Send them.
Specifically, demon hunters.
Okay.
So, looking at the Inquisitor side of the Empire Sunstall lists, this is something that Phil got me thinking about the other day. Like the Witch Hunter, the gang of warrior priesty, witch huntery people going around like burning villages looking for witches. I just think it's really clever.
This kind of, in inverted commas, real life, run down, a bit tatty looking vibe really reminds me of like Malifaux sculpts.
Yes. Very, very close. So you've got like your sniper, you've got your normal guy, you've got your bomber, you've got your cannoner.
Look at that.
Why not? Use a cannon.
Let's have it.
Then your witch hunter.
Look at that.
It's very grimdark, inverted commas.
It's a sense of movement, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's real energy to him.
Oh, look at that.
There's the money shot.
Yep, bang. Headshot. And then that's the whole gang together.
Okay.
So you get all the different units. You get like the witch hunters with the dogs. You get then the ranged ones, the more combat focused ones. Again, the models and the sculpts are just lovely. And again, having that as like your characters in an Empire Sunstall witch hunter force, I think it would look amazing.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, creature.
Love that. Love that cannon.
Mantic, what's this going to be, Dan?
Is it the new Empire of Dust army?
No.
Oh.
Halflings.
Halflings! But they've also just recently released an Empire of Dust army for all of your ongoing dynasty needs.
They have. We're talking about hobbits now. So again, another Empire of Sunstall army. I just think they're really fun. It's not very often you get to see a hobbit army, especially ones on spaniels.
Like you would be tempted to do a goblin army or a vermiswarm army using these guys, wouldn't you?
No.
No?
No. They use goblins as goblins.
You need to dream bigger.
Dream bigger. Just the unit entry on the Mantic website is a sorcerer.
Oh, nice.
God. Oh,
nice.
Oh my god. Very good, but my god. Then you've got the head chef, which is your warrior priest or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you have the engineer that just looks so fed up of that girl's shit.
Yeah.
I've had enough of your cooking. And then the steam tank for this army.
Oh.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Just all day. Painted by Angel Garaldes, this one, which is amazing. But still, steam tank, just brilliant.
I love that they've got like the shields on the sides of the canopy, but then there's also pots and pans.
Yeah, exactly. But again, Mantic, great value for money. Again, we're talking about great ways into the game. Mantic army bundles, especially when they're on like Black Friday deals, are really, really good.
100%.
Next up, Highland Miniatures. So, talking about witch hunter armies, they've just released Zealot based
I bet they're going to
model
feel
of
real
Empire.
silly when they realise that the ghost is behind them.
Exactly. Yeah. But these are your proper doomsayer, end of the world fanatics.
Yeah.
And that's what I like. I like it to be grim and gribbly. And
Are these
these guys are nuts.
Are these purchasable or 3D printed?
These are STLs.
STLs,
So
nice. Okay.
you can print them. And again, they're multi-part as well. So again, you
okay.
can mix and match all the different parts. But I like the fact that you've got like the old nuns there, you've got the old vicars and things, that people that have lost their religious set like heads and are going rampaging.
Yep.
You then have the Inquisition. So again, like the witch hunters, the zealots, like the proper redemptionist style.
Yeah.
We're going to go into the village. Anyone that looks slightly shifty was going to get burnt.
Done. You're done. You're on the list.
Exactly. And again, just the sculpts are just fantastic. Again, multi-part as well. And
Even
then
that
if you
dog's
wanted...
judging you.
He is. You are guilty, son. And if that wasn't enough, something that I think is brilliant and would really finish this off, if we wanted like your Imperial Guard or something for this particular style of army, what do you think they've done, Dan? Fantasy Sisters.
Oh.
Wow, look at that.
Oh.
Multi-part Fantasy Sisters.
Who is it? I think it's Shield Wolf have plastic regiment kits of like armored battle nuns.
Exactly.
And this kind of aesthetic is something that I've always thought would be really, really cool to see.
Exactly.
So this is incredible.
So again, as part of an Inquisition EOS army, so these are your characters and some of your saints and things like that. Then you've got like your light infantry.
Yeah.
With nunchucks to get it.
Of course they are.
I like it.
Of course they are.
Love that.
And then some of your more heavy infantry with your arbalests, with your crossbows and things like that. And then going into your like Imperial Guard style, dual hands, dual weapons, proper armored, scary people. Which I think is fantastic.
All the judgment.
All the witch burning. We then have Last Sword miniatures with some nice Sylvan elves that are actually to scale.
Ooh.
It's not very often you get properly scaled elves. And I like it. I think they're so lovely.
They're clean.
They are clean at the moment. But they're in the right body proportions, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of the GW ones tend to be heroic. The Lord of the Rings ones tend to be short. Whereas these ones seem to be the right height, the right size faces and features and hands. Even the fingers are the right size. And I just think that's really nice.
I think what I like about these is that whilst there is a lot of detail, it's not... They don't look cluttered or busy.
Yeah, it's not overbearing, is it?
Yeah.
Then you've got your... what they called your Sentinels.
Wow.
They look great.
Yeah, a lot more feral, more chaotic
Wild.
looking elves. Yeah, wilds are probably a good shout. And then my favourite. The War Dancers are satyrs.
Oh, okay.
So it's gone a lot more down the Fey route as well.
Yeah.
So again, the wilder they're getting. So if you go back to the previous ones, so they're just the normal like wood elf style wood elves.
Yeah.
Then they're getting wilder and wilder. The more time they're spending in the wood, they're not wearing shoes anymore. They're getting a little bit of their frizzy hair. They're looking a lot more
rough.
And then they're actually going Fey when they get to the War Dancer styles. So they're getting satiric. That's good. And yeah, just I think it's brilliant. I think they're really nice.
Feral.
Really good.
Yeah. And again, the poses are really, really good. Again, 3D printable, Dan.
Yeah. I mean, in actual fact, earlier today, I was kind of having a look through my mini factory, and it's
That's always a bad thing to do.
yeah, like it. I'm surprised by just how many kits now, like STL kits, you can get that are multi-part.
Yeah.
I know that Avatars of War have recently released a Goblin skeleton multi-part set.
Yes.
So that might be a Vampire Covenant army on my list
Exactly.
soon.
Twinned with the Titan Forge Undead Goblins as well.
Exactly, yeah.
They've also done Dryads that go a lot more down the horror.
That's Pan's
Yeah, look at
Labyrinth,
that.
isn't it?
That is.
It's very Witcher as well.
Mm.
The what are they called? Leshen. So that's the Dryads. Really, really funky.
Oof.
That's then the
big ones.
Thicket Beasts, which are proper Leshen, evil forest spirit style. Really, really good.
They look fantastic.
Yeah. I love them. I think they're really good. They don't look like how do I explain it? The GW, are they Thicket Beasts as well? What are they called?
Tree Revenants.
Tree Revenants, where they look elfy yet also stuck in a tree. These look almost like living bone, living wood and magic.
Yeah.
And they look, well, hateful. They hate outsiders.
Yeah.
Yeah, really good. Lubart miniatures. Love a good Lubart. So these are Naiads. So we've actually got some proper Naiads for the KOE army. So it's quite good. We haven't had anyone else release any of these that I've found yet. We then have the Ladies Courtiers.
Ah, yes.
Look at that.
So the big monstrous unit for KOE, which isn't really represented. So they've actually made models that are good for it. So Lady of the Lakes, Special Guardians to come and smote people. But my favourite unit of all the game in the KOE book is the Friars Lanterns. So again, the little pixies that are just there to cause mischief. So again, have you faced my Friars Lanterns, Phil?
I don't think I did.
No, I don't think you did. Yeah. Don't worry, they're quite cool. Again, it's a very niche unit, which again is quite new to the T9A in the fact that it doesn't want to be charged; it will just flee, and it's only there to cause mischief. It's not there to kill. It's there to disrupt, basically. So I think it's brilliant.
Yeah.
So yeah, Lubart miniatures for some cool prints for those. Great Grimoire. Dan doesn't like these normally because they scare the pants out of him.
Right, here we go.
These are quite nice, actually.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. You're just lulling me into a full sense of security.
I was. Well, last time it was the cupboard demon, wasn't it, with the little child being snatched?
Oh, God, yeah.
That was great. That was great. I watched that show. Fantastic.
Do not want.
So yeah, again, these I thought would be good for the Ladies Courtier again, and also the other one, which was the Tree Revenants. I can't remember what they're called for KOE now. But some of the more fey creatures in the KOE book, which again is great models for Great Grimoire. Mushroom Dryads.
Yes.
Aww.
I think they're brilliant. It looks so Hollow Knight and like the cartoony sort of games.
Yeah.
I think they're brilliant.
I mean, anything that's got a faux moustache on is a winner in my book.
Exactly. Are you wearing your faux moustache today?
Oh, absolutely.
I just think they're brilliant. Really, really funky models. Lost Kingdom miniatures. So there was quite a big announcement about Lost Kingdom miniatures. So again, these ones here. Have you ever seen Pirates of the Caribbean? You must have.
Yeah.
You guys must have.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
Oh,
undead pirates. And undead pirates that don't look kit bashed, they look like they should be.
Yeah.
And the details that they've put into these sculpts are just beautiful. So this is the skeletons, obviously. Just really, really cool.
Yeah.
Then you have your ghasts, Dan. Is that what they're called? Or vampire brethren, or what they're called? Vampire
yeah,
spawn.
yeah. The vampires want to do. The
Just-
I'm loving the octopus up top.
Yeah.
And then if you wanted a character, so a ghast character with the bestial bulk, Dan. There you go.
Yes.
Yeah,
No,
I'm just gonna wield this great white shark in combat.
No. The shark is a great weapon.
Exactly. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Just incredible detail. And there's more. So you have then a vampire on a manta bat ray, which would be it'd be your shrieking horror, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So again, a Strigoi Lord on a shrieking horror. Just really, really clever. Then White King with monkey assistant.
Skeleton monkey. I love it.
Just I love the detail. I think it's so clever. And then there's more zombies.
Yeah, that's proper Curse of the Black Pearl, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
There's a few of them that give me real Last of Us vibes.
I like
some of the coral growths.
Yeah. The anglerfish dude and the big clam dude behind him with the pearl in his mouth.
Clam head. It's great.
Brilliant. And then there's the command unit.
Wow.
Just the attention to detail with Lost Kingdom miniatures is astounding.
Like his trousers are literally falling off.
Yeah.
The irony, of course, is that they'll still suffer DTs if they walk into a pond.
Yes. Yes. They won't be steadfast in a pond. But
That's cool.
Yeah.
I really like when STLs have these kind of like particle effect type details on them. Like the water.
This one looks quite calm and nice and everything. Oh, it's a different model. Never mind. This is another champion, which is just...
That.
I don't know where to start with that.
I don't think he knows where to start.
No.
Very clever. It's different. But you remember your Banshee a second ago? These are the evil ones.
Yes.
Oof.
Just...
I think the other thing I really like about them, and I say it every time, like the verticality that they would introduce to your list, to your army.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh wow.
Horrendous.
That is just... Yeah.
Oh, I hate it.
Yep. That can literally get in the sea.
And climb out.
Exactly. Don't say that. But yeah, just fantastic stuff from Lost Kingdom Miniatures, and they're sending out so much good stuff recently. So I recently acquired the KOE Kingdom of Mercia stuff from Lost Kingdom Miniatures to print, which would be good. But that's the whole collection. And again, just the size of some of the models, and again, the different things you can do with them. So good. Okay, so these are all the different links, so please pause and look at if you want to find the right place for your right models. Highland Miniatures, Last Sword, Lubart, Lost Kingdom, and Great Grimoire. Yes. So if you have any recommendations for models that we have not found or seen, please send them in to us. We're always willing to look at models. It's one of the things about us is we love looking at new models and starting another Goblin army. That's what we're about. Okay. Project Grotto 2022. Here we go. So this is something that I saw on the internet a while ago, and it's something that I would love to build. It's a wish list, effectively.
Yes.
Oh wow.
So this is an attic room, and luckily I'm not having to build this in an attic. But I love the idea of having a space that is immersive. So you walk into that area and you can become your general, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And yes, it's like D&D. It's like that other role-playing aspect to it. If everything, the decor-wise, around you plays into that, you get that next level of immersion into your game.
Yeah.
So, for example, like they've got the map of the Badlands there on the back wall. They've also got one of the rune fangs on,
Oh yes.
and I just think it's just so clever. They've got the twin-tailed comet burnt into the table,
Yeah.
and again, every single feature about it just screams Warhammer.
Yeah.
And if we can create a space like that, where you can come and play games and stuff like that, and we can then record battles, I think your enjoyment of that game would be next level up,
Yeah.
in my opinion. So that's something that I wanted to do for the Grotto and start heading that way. But all the like benches, for example, or your storage and stuff like that, the table unfolds so that you can flip it over to be a gaming table or for D&D, or to actually use it as a dining table if you're just having a couple of friends over for a drink. So I think this sort of level of planning going into my playing space is something that I'm really excited to try. All the stones, by the way, they're all polystyrene.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So
they're
it's
kind of
literally
soundproofing as well.
yeah, and also keeping it warm in the winter.
Yeah.
So this is the Project Grotto so far. So what I wanted to do is I'm a cheapskate. I hate spending money. So I decided to try and build my gaming table out of pallets. And actually, finding pallets isn't that hard nowadays. Everyone seems to use pallets. Everyone seems to just abandon pallets by the side of the road. So we managed to get quite a lot quite quickly. And again, I've used a pallet breaking tool, which got on Amazon for about £18. And then my rotary cutter, and started just accumulating the planks of wood, getting stuff ready to go, putting it by different sizes, etc., etc. So then I did a little plan, and this is what I came up with. So this is the first prototype table. So the idea is that compared to previous tables, which were on pasting tables, and they were very rickety, it was a little bit worrisome sometimes if you pressed in the middle, you thought your army was going to jump up and explode. So I wanted something that was solid, but that could also then be moved down. So this is where it was with then the outer ring put on properly, the banding around the outside so the dice wouldn't fall off. So trying to build a more solid, cost-efficient table. So far, this table has cost me £3.26.
Okay.
Winning.
So that's just the screws. Everything
Sure.
else was free. So all the
Sure.
wood, all the time, everything. That's with the gaming mat on top. So it's exactly 6 foot by 4 foot. So it's
Nice.
tournament legal, we'll say. And then in situ, so putting it into the grotto, getting it nice and central. So it's, as you can attest to it, Phil, it's solid. It's
Yeah.
not going to move. It's not going to rock anywhere.
Even
It's
when I rage, it doesn't move.
Exactly. Even when your dragon charges in,
Exactly.
it doesn't move. But the idea was then to have this as the focal point of the room. So again, having everything around it's going to start looking a bit nicer. So you can see my current desk where I'm currently sat now. It's not anywhere near the final product, but I want to get it to the point where we've got the carpets in here properly. We've got proper storage, proper places for people to come around and sit even. Because at the moment, it's just standing room. And
Sure.
Yeah.
I want it for people to be a relaxing place, but also then to come and enjoy the game. So once the Mac's all set up and you've got the cameras, I'm going to have top-down cameras onto it as well, so we can live stream games. That'll be a fantastic thing to do.
That'll be a game changer for you.
Definitely. And again, it'll be fun.
Definitely.
But that's where we currently are with Project Grotto. So we know where we want to go eventually, but we will eventually get to a point where either we can live stream games or we can have a more regular, relaxing game in the grotto. There we are. Some nice terrain there for you. But yeah, hopefully next week, Phil, it's our next game.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it.
So more things or less things to do with this. So we definitely need more storage in here. I'm forever putting things away before I can start things, especially with commissions and stuff. So I'm having to clear the table to then try and get something out. I want to have everything put away and stay away. So the playing area is also more comfortable for multiple players. So people coming down, they can have seats to sit on, places to put their drinks, put their armies, without worrying that they're going to be knocking over commissions, knocking over shelves and stuff like that. Less. It's so cold in here in the winter. Not original big cold.
Okay.
But it's still, you can see your breath. It's not nice. So I want it to try and be climatized. And that involved, the first point was I redid the entire roof. So I took the roof off the garage and remade the roof. And it's been a lot better since then. But it still needs insulating. More still needs to be done on the whole space. It's quite hot in the summer. So again, trying to keep that climatized room, which is quite difficult. We want to reduce the chance of breaking models. So again, keeping things away nicely, which would be good.
Sure.
But yeah, so that's Project Grotto. So again, I'll give you another update, hopefully after Christmas, when I've got a chance to do more in here. But yeah. Next up.
Looking good so far, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. T9A News. We have a gold rulebook and we have a background compendium. So what does this mean, Dan?
So the gold rulebook that's a relatively new release, and it's the rulebook, but it's got pretty pictures in it.
What else?
Pretty pictures in it. It's the sort of thing where if this were to become kind of commercially sold, this would kind of be the book that you see on the shelves.
Yes.
That doesn't scream free PDF document.
Yes. Which is always a win.
Yeah, but it's got all of the kind of updated errata bits, and yeah, pictures, more pictures, artwork, fluff, all sorts.
As close to a finished game as is.
Correct. Yes.
And
then the background compendium. It may or may not come as a surprise to some of us playing 9th Age, but there was actually a significant amount of background and fluff for the game of 9th Age. A lot of it was released as part of like 9th Scroll and in kind of auxiliary releases alongside
similar to the White Dwarf releases.
Yeah, but now we have a go-to single document with all of the. It is a law book, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's a document full of law.
So one of the things that I've heard in recent arguments for negatives about T9A is that there isn't any background, there isn't any padding around the armies themselves. There's no character to them. So I implore these people to come and read these rules and read these backgrounds, because they are near as damn it to a finished product, and I think they're lovely. So it's got the background compendium, for example, has stories, it has background, it has all the different things about the different races, and it's all compiled into God. So the artwork in a lot of it is done, it's all volunteered, which it's not paid for, and it's trying to create the world that we live in.
Yeah.
Well, we play in. So a lot of it is based in little excerpts and things like that as well. Yeah.
Something else, like a lot of the stuff in the background compendium is, the background is designed alongside when a book goes to lab status, when it's being developed, kind of re-released, a lot of the design decisions are partly to do with what's being discussed in the background compendium. So obviously for you and I, Gobbo, like the Orcs and Goblins book,
the Goblins and Goblins book.
The Goblins and Goblins book is kind of next up after is next up in line. But like reading through the background compendium gives us a couple of like sneak peeks on how the 9th Age Goblin world works and like what we might see as unit entries and why we see them in the way they're presented.
Compared to a port from Lord of the Rings or GW,
Precisely.
this is brand new story.
Correct. Yeah.
And I think that's what we need to base our ideas of our game around. So again, this is some of the examples of the excerpts and some of the artwork that comes in the book. So you've got that's the Arcane Compendium. So you've got all the different laws of the magic. And again, it's illustrated beautifully. So again, throughout the book as well, you have random adverts for, for magic and stuff like that. And yes, it's not... How do I explain it? Individually, they're not fantastic pieces of art. But as an entire package, it is becoming closer and closer to something that you would buy off the shelf.
Correct.
As opposed to, like you said earlier, freepdf.com. So again, here's some more little excerpts. So again, it's got the tea stains and things. This is very similar to the old stories you used to see at White Dwarf or the old Warhammer Fantasy rule books. It's trying to get, as we say, the padding around our armies.
Yeah.
So this is one of the examples for Sylvan Elves. So it does some little drawings about them, explains some of the behaviours about them, some of the history, similar to Highborns.
Yeah, I love things like that. I love little inserts.
Definitely.
That's what helps
Exactly.
tell the story for me.
Exactly. And I think that's a really important part of a lot of people's mindset with the game.
Yeah.
Is that you need to have that connection to storytelling.
Yeah, otherwise it's just a dice game when you move models around.
Yeah.
Might as well play chess.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that, in addition to the gold rulebook, there we are. Beautiful as it is.
Yes.
So again, looking into the gold rulebook, the quality of it is just really good. Have you had a chance to look through it yet, Dan?
I've glanced through it just to, because I was curious when I saw the announcement, just to see kind of exactly what was different. And with my innately smooth brain, it was these kind of illustrations that made me go, oh, okay. Like if I was going to introduce someone new to the game, it would be kind of a much easier sell, kind of showing them
Definitely.
this.
It looks like a finished product.
Yeah.
So again, looking at the drawings, even like the explanations of certain phases, they're a lot more professionally done.
Yeah.
And I think they're really nice. I love the little drawings.
Yeah.
But yeah, even like that, like the flow charts, there's thought and composition gone into it, as opposed to just let's get it onto the page. And I think it really works. And it actually serves a purpose. It makes it easier to understand the rules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that example. Whereas previously it used to just be the Lego blocks, didn't it?
Yeah, it just seems a lot easier to look at that than the pink, blue, and green boxes in the current codex, current rulebook.
What do you think, Phil?
I was just going to say that's simple but really effective.
Yeah.
I can look at that and just instantly understand if I've got a large or gigantic model.
Exactly. Have you managed to download this one yet?
I've got it, on my phone.
Yes. Yes, it's really good. Again, I think it's definitely a recommendation for any of the players that are 9th age already, or anyone that's coming into the game, just to get them downloaded and just read through them. There's so much information in there. And
I have been flicking through it.
Yeah, it's a big read.
It is a big read.
But it's well worth it, and I thoroughly enjoy it. Cool. Thank you very much for joining us, guys. Thank you to Phil.
You're welcome. Thank you, guys.
How was your first outing out?
Really good. I was a bit nervous to start with, but
it's okay.
We started flowing and we got in.
It's okay. He's not that scary once you get used to talking to him.
I know, yeah.
Yeah,
the Lord.
Just you wait until Nashageddon, though, mate.
Nashageddon, yes.
I'm a bit intimidated by that, but all in. Let's go. The dragon leads.
Exactly. The dragon says. Thank you to Scabfat for coming along again.
That is all right. I will send you my invoice after we finish.
Exactly. Your bribe.
Yeah.
one mushroom.
Yes. I'm a simple man with simple tastes.
Exactly. And thank you very much, guys, for listening and watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Keep making sure to follow Explorers of Elsewhere for Dan's content.
Yes.
And also, again, for the Proxy Table Gaming for more battle-related content. We've got one of our battle reports coming up, Phil, haven't we?
We have.
We have.
It's a nail-biting, thrilling game, and you'll be on the
It
edge of your screens.
You'll laugh, you'll cry, it'll change your life.
Definitely will.
Exactly.
Definitely will.
Brilliant. If you enjoy these hobby shows, guys, please let us know. It's been quite difficult to try and gear myself up to come and do another one for a while, for obvious reasons. I've got a little bit more time in my life again, and if it's something that you enjoy, if you find it of value, please let us know, so that we can continue to make great content for you guys. Thank you very much for watching and listening, and I hope to speak to you all soon. Stay safe, guys.
Take care, everyone.
Cheers, then.